Hi. Hello. It's me, Grandma Quilter. Hello, everybody. This is the second episode of This Is How I Do It. So, how y'all been? I've been good. I've been good. Trying to get everything organized so that I can do these tapings. But, okay, I'm just making sure I'm recording. You know me. Everything is without a script. Today we're going to be working on Franken-batting. You know how much I love it. You love it too. Hey, the economy being what it is, everything that's going down with the money and everything else, we got to make sure that we use everything we have. That's why I love scrappy quilting, and that's why I do Franken-batting. How many of us, when we're using batting to put a quilt together, we make sure we have enough on the side so that we quilt good? That quilting, that batting is left over. Let me get my hair here. So what I do is I save it in a bag. I'm not going to show you the mess I have on my bed, but I'm going to show you what I do with it. Right now I have 3 pieces here. 3 separate pieces of batting that were left over from other things. Now, I know a lot of you come and take the time to trim it, make sure it's straight, and then you either use the tape, which is just money, and make sure of a lot of different things. Me, all I make sure is, number one, that I change my pressure foot and the plate on my machine before I use my zigzag, because if you don't, it's going to be a mess. And it's happened to me, you know. Sometimes I'm in a rush. I know all of you do this because we all have done it. We're in a rush. We don't change the plate. We start sewing and needles break. There's a mess. Yeah, it's happened to me many, many times. So that's why I'm doing it. And now, on top of everything else, I see a mess on my presser foot that I haven't cleaned out. So let me do this quickly while we talk. And I apologize because, oh, there's stuff in here. So let me just do it clean. I clean with different brushes. It's the first one I catch. And I just make sure I take all that gunk out of there before I start sewing. Because we have to keep our machines clean because it's another money pit, people. I just make sure. I don't like to have fluff on my presser feet or anything like that. I like to keep it clean. So every time I change or I'm working on something, I make sure I check and there's not a lot of gunk, not a lot of trash in there. So keeping it clean, people, keeping it clean. And there we go. I think I got it all. Yeah, I got it all. Okay. See, I'm using a makeup brush. Literally, it's a makeup brush. I have makeup brushes. I have a little plastic thing, doohickey. And I love this one because this one to get in there really good. I don't know if you see it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. And then I have the real brushes that you use, the silicone ones, that I do when I'm doing a deep clean. All right. So anyway, all right. So we are now changing up everything in here. Let me just do a little drop in here. The good thing about electronic machines, all I need to do is one drop in one, and that's it. And it works fine. It's not even on where you put the fabric, so I don't have to do a free run. But this is Franken-batting, so that's not a problem. Okay, so let's put this back. There we go. Did it wrong, of course, because, you know, I'm on camera. And if I weren't on camera, I wouldn't be doing a mess, would I? Because you know me. Again, unscripted. Don't believe in scripting anything. All right, now, yeah, because if you don't put the bobbin case back in, not gonna be able to put in the bobbin. All right, now Now we got it. Okay, now let me put my bobbin back in. I love my fob because she's easy to thread and do everything with. She's a sweetie. And that is why I love her. All right. So now I'm going to put my zigzag foot. Now I have various. I'm a gadget person. Y'all know me. So I have the different types of presser feet that the machine brings, because my FOF brought, I think, 8. But I purchase on the side. Sometimes I get generic, sometimes I don't. I love the zigzag foot when I'm doing the Franken-batting. I love the zigzag foot that is open, but it has plastic in the middle. It glides it easier and you don't get so much fluff. So, little word to the wise. Okay, so now, alrighty. Got to get the stuff out of the way. And always make sure it's closed. I've been working on stuff, so I apologize. Okay, so one thing I do when I'm working with batting that I've used on other things that has fluff on it, I use my trusty tape to pick up any loose threads that might be on it. Not a lot. I really don't need to do it a lot, but like you can see on this, I had one that was full. So I had to really give it a cleaning. I don't like to use it a lot because it does pick up the batting fibers. And I want to keep those as intact as I can. Okay. So I have 2 pieces. They're not equal pieces. They're not completely straight, but they're straight enough. So all I do, people, this is all I do, is I just make sure when you're doing this, you're using the same type of batting. I'm almost always use 80-20. Almost always. But I do have some pieces of wool, and I do have some 100% cotton in there that I've used in the past. So always make sure that the batting that I'm using is the exact same one, okay? I'll put it this way. If it's going to be a wall hanging, it really don't matter. It's the thickness. Just do you. Look, I keep coming back to the same point. The important thing is use up what you have. What did people use in the past? I've seen quilts that had other fabric inside in bunches because that's all they had. That's what you need to do. You do you, boo. Don't worry about anybody else. It's inside the quilt. Unless you're taking that quilt to a quilt show or the person you're gifting it to is another quilter, they're not going to notice. Okay? I guarantee you they're not going to notice. Okay. So now I got to change my stitch width because my machine has stitch width safety. And I did that. And now I'm going to look for a zigzag. Now what I do, I make sure that the width of the zigzag takes both fabrics without too much of a hassle. My presser foot has a little line in the middle, and I know to keep my needle there so I get both sides good. Another thing is I make sure the zigzag is a little tighter. Not a satin stitch, because that's a waste of thread, but a little closer so that it'll stay attached until I take it to the quilt. All right, so in this case, I am going to widen it. I always widen it to 6.5 on my machine, and that's fairly close stitch, and I don't have my readers. I left them over there, so I'm not going to get them. Anyways, so away we go. That's all I do. And now, just make sure to keep it as straight as you can. And like I said, I don't cut it even. I don't care. I just want to make sure that I grab both fabrics, okay, both batting strips, make sure they're attached so that when the finished product comes out, I have a bigger piece of batting. So I apologize for the noise because the mic is right there. But give me a second. Let me get this done. See, and all I do is I accommodate it. As I see that if it's a little bit bigger, I move it apart more. If it's closer, I just make sure that it attaches. It might get a lump. It's batting, people. It's not fabric. All right. Just make sure you get both pieces of batting into the stitch. This is stretchable. You can stretch batting. Well, there's so many things you can do with batting. It's just making sure you use it up. All right. So, now, I know there are people out there, my OCDers, nobody's going to know. That's all I'm going to say. Nobody's going to know. Unless it's another quilter. Or unless they're really looking. This is going to be used on a table runner. So it's not really that important. And then, oh, good, it's almost equal. Aha, that was a happy. Now, I don't go too fast because, again, I'm not an experienced sewist in the sense of I can use a machine that goes, wah! But, yeah, it's fairly easy. And because that little strip in the middle is red, I can see it even without my readers. So it's coming along nicely. And like I said, there are parts where it comes to the side a little, not a problem. All right. So now I'm just locking my stitch. Here we go. And voila. Look. All done. See what I mean? If it's puckered, it doesn't matter. It's going to be sandwiched. It's going to be quilted. No one's going to notice because you know what? It's going inside. It's not on the outside. This is how easy this is. All I do now, and this is what I do. Like right now, I have this little piece, if you see, right here. That little piece. If I have a piece that's more or less that size, I'm going to attach it and keep on going because I use up the strip. The important thing is to use up your batting. And how it looks on the inside doesn't matter. Again, this is not for my perfectionist friends. There's a lot of people that are perfectionists. And hey, all the power to you. Me, I need to use what I have. I need to make sure that the money that I invested in batting doesn't go to waste. I need to make sure that I don't have to buy batting for a smaller project. And I've made Franken-batting for quilts, believe me. But this one is going to be, let me see. I have to attach like another one exactly like this for a table runner that I've got. Or, let's see. Give me a second. Voila. Y'all remember that I'm making this Franken-batting for the projects that I showed you in my first episode. So, we all remember that I found this one, right? I found this one. Let's see if almost fits. Ha 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 ha. All I have to do, is add a couple of pieces to the side, and I have enough. If I add a piece on the top part and a piece on the side part, I will have enough for this little table topper. Okay? That's how I saved it. And it's a table topper. It's one that I had in my stash. I didn't even remember it was there. It's going to look adorable on the table. And I didn't have to spend any additional of my batting to finish it. Just going to use up a couple of strips. And you know what? I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to look from right now. Don't go away. You know I do this without strips. So I have a couple of pieces right here. Let's check this out. All right. See, I have smaller pieces that I've saved from other projects. So let's see if it works, shall we? Because I might have to add on. All right. Get you to the side. Let's see. This is how I do it. I'm not joking. You see me doing this? This is exactly how I do it. Okay. Because again, I am not this one just about. Let's try this one. Okay, this one fits on the side. And then I can put those two for the other side. So let's put it together right now. I'm going to do this right now with you guys. Yep. It's happening, people. It's happening. Okay. And again, I don't know if you can see this. I can see. Okay, you see that little curve there? And you see this doesn't have a curve? I'm going to put them together. I'm going to match them up. I'm telling you now. Here we go. There we go. Uh-huh. There it goes. And all I do is accommodate it. That is it. Sometimes it overlaps. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. It's going into a table runner. After I wash that table runner and it gets all the good wrinkly stuff in it and everything lays down, it's going to be imperceptible. It's inside the quilt. Inside the quilt. Shh. Go. Keep going, Deb. You're doing good. And I'm going to keep on going till that part is done. And then I'll do the top part. And I got the whole batting for that table topper. Yes. That is exactly what I do. Now, sometimes, and this, I don't know if it happens to you, when I'm doing Franken-batting, sometimes, because it is slippery, it's hard to manage. I love this thing that I have next to me because everything fits in here and I got it all accessible. And now I can't find my gloves. Where are my gloves, people? I do have quilt. There it is. I just need one side. This was a quilt gift that I received from one of my viewers, and they're really cool. I have some that are from Dollar Tree. It all depends on what I need and when I need it. So just sometimes to help make sure that I don't mess it up too hard, I'll just use it because it's easier to grab and it doesn't slip out of my hands. This one doesn't need it because all I'm doing is guiding the batting. This one I just have to move and maneuver. All right, almost to the end. Almost. Now, at the end, it's just a little bit short, so all I'm going to do is stretch it just a tad to make sure it gets to the end. Just a little tiny bit. Oop, I almost got my finger there. All right, here we go. Made it bigger. See? Well, I made it bigger. Who made it bigger? Now I'm going to add the other ones on this side to make it a little bit taller. And I have it. Let's see. Okay. Where's the other piece? Here it is. Well, this piece is just, let me see if I find one as white as this one. Or as thin as this one. I got them right here. Let's see if I can bring the camera with me. Yes, no, it's this way. There we go. Well, not that much. Anyway, all right. Well, I think I have a piece that will work all by itself. Let's see if this one works with this one. Okay, see? It's just playing, people. It's all it is. Let me make the camera come back. Come back. Ah, come back to me. There we go. Hi. There we go. I'm back. I'm looking over there because the camera, it's optical illusion, people. It's just what it is. Okay. So I've got this piece and this piece. So all I do, look, I know that some of you are frustrated with me right now because of the way I do things, but it's the way my brain works. You know, I really don't overthink that. I think overthink a lot of things, but doing Franken-batting is not one of them. Almost had enough. Okay. So let's put these two together, and then whatever is left over, I cut and put it away for another day. For a rainy day. Okay, here we go. This one fits basically. And again, look at the edge. Let me see if I can show. There. See? It's got a little lump, and this one doesn't, and it's going under. I'm going in down. I'm going in. I don't waste time trimming because, again, it is what it is. So I'm always in a rush. I wanna see the finished product. So if I can save time, and since y'all know that this is who I am, it is what it is. It is what it is, and it's all that it is. Okay, so now we're gonna, not on this side because I'll trim that one off. I'm going in on this side, and I think it'll be big enough. And if not, I'll just keep adding on until it is. That's all I do. Thing is using it up and saving the scraps. When the scraps are unusable, I put them in my little trash pile, not trash, my scrap pile. And since now we have people that take those little scraps to others that make thread and yarn, it's perfect. Because there are pieces that you just, there's no way you're going to use them. Little tiny slivers. All right, keep on fixing. See, like right now, there's a little piece that's going to overlap. I'm fine with it. I have no issues with it. Alrighty. Keep on going, Debbie. Almost done. And, yep, it'll be enough. It will be enough. So how's your day going? Mine's going peachy. I even got dressed. Usually I'm in my PJs all day. Because my PJs are sweat clothes. Because I like them because they're warm. So they're very versatile. I only put on my clothes if I have to go out or do a video. And we finished. Okay. So now, this is the finished piece. From that little piece, look at the big piece we got. Now I'm going to cut this piece off. And I'm not going to measure because it doesn't matter. I'm going to cut it with my scissors. I try not to use my rotary cutter with batting as much as possible. Because I just, no. Okay. And I have a collection of scissors for different things. So, there we go. Good chunk left over that I can use for something else. There we go. All right. So I got this humongous piece. Let's see now if I have to add a little bit more. I don't plan on doing a lot of quilting on this. I don't do dense quilting because, number one, I don't do free motion. Don't know how. Might try to learn this year. Don't know yet. But again, this is not for sale. This is not for another quilter. This is something to put on the table here. Okay, I have enough. Yep, it's perfect. I have enough on the sides to quilt. Yep, I might just put a little 2-inch strip if I have it on one side, but on the bottom I have enough. So I'm good. And there you go. I have the batting for the table topper made out of spare batting. Didn't spend a penny. Didn't touch my roll. Didn't have to do anything. Just spent a little bit of money on the thread. That's it. That's the end of this. I will show you the finished product as soon as I have them. But remember, I just want to remind you all, this is what I do. This is how I do it. I'm not saying it's the right way. I'm not saying it's the perfect way. I'm saying this is how I do it. So I will see you all back here next time. And remember, being imperfect is always being perfectly loved. Love you all. Bye.